Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be going to the core of this planet and we are going to be working on the little pets thing. I forgot what they're called. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is working on this. We're going to go to the core of the planet later in this episode. But for now, we're just going to work on this. So the first thing it requires is an entire canister of soil. So you put that on the top, and then it will consume the resource that you're putting on it, and then that's 1/3 of the way through. Now I see it requires one of these plants. I forgot which one it was or what it looks like. So I look at which one it is. I see that what the bounce vine looks like. Then I remember that that's in the mountains. So then I'm going to be taking my tractor to go to the mountains, or I should in just a second. But I also realized that it takes zinc, which is smelted, whatever that resource is. I always forget the name or can't pronounce it, one or the other. So I work on getting some scrap so I can trade for it, and then smelt it down while I'm gone. I decided to take these platforms out because I'm going to be making some better ones later anyways. Not in this episode, but maybe in a later episode I can make some better ones. So now that I am a scrap, I then trade for it. I think it's called sphalerite. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wait for this to get back because I'm going to have it smelting into zinc while I'm out looking for the bounce vine. Now here I am looking for a portable oxygenator because those are really useful. However, they are kind of a late game item because they take 1 nanocarbon alloy, which is pretty hard to get. So here I'm just looking for it, and I found it. Now I was just checking to make sure that it took 1 nanocarbon alloy because I couldn't quite remember. And now I'm taking my tractor out to go look for some bounce vine. I guess more accurately, I'm looking for mountains where I'll find some bounce vine. Now here I found a mountain, so I go out to get some of the bounce vine from it, as you probably expect. Yeah, I decided to get both the seeds that it dropped, so in case I ever want to plant some of this, I can. Then I use the other one for the little canister. I think it's called a terrarium. Then I also get some of this research, and then I realized that I did not take the auto arm off the back trailer, which just means it's taking up a little bit extra storage. It's not really doing that much, so So the way the little pets work, I forgot what they're called, is once you fill up the terrarium, then it will spawn near you. The map is really useful here because it shows you where it is, and then you have to dance in front of them, and then you can eventually befriend them. They go in the little terrarium, and then you can scan them with that structure that spawned last video. And you do have to have this small little horn on it. Now here I wasn't sure what to do because I forgot to do something. I forgot that I needed to have it on the ground, or I had to be near one. I can't quite remember how it works. It's been a long time since I've done this. So as you can see, the map shows where it is. And now here I'm just looking for the right dance that it likes. Now you can see on the map where it is now, so I don't have to go out and look for it. I can just look on the map and then find it. Now here I've befriended it, and that song finally ends. And then we go to scan it after I look at it. In just a minute. And now we go to scan it. To my knowledge, they don't mind this, so it does look kind of weird having them like stuck in that area being scanned, but it's fine. I don't know where I heard that they don't mind it. I'm just assuming. And now here I'm going to scrap down all these things because why else would I have them around? Now I did not notice I could have picked up that one that I scrapped, but it doesn't really matter. And while I'm wandering out here, I will tell you I currently have an editor. Well, at least I'm looking at an editor. This video is edited by me, but hopefully the next ones will be edited by a friend of mine. Now, he's currently not getting paid for this, but once the channel begins to make money, or if it does, then I will pay him his fair share. But for now, he's doing this for free. Mostly because he wants to. Now right here I'm trying to get the rover seat for the buggy, so because the buggy is faster than the tractor, and it also uses very little power. Like those two QRTGs on it, that's more than enough power. It hardly needs one. Now here I'm getting this researching just for the extra bytes. Now the first time I went to one of these stations, you'll see later, turns out I did not have enough power generation, because each one requires a certain amount of power generation in order to activate, basically. And the first time I went, I did not have enough. I came back the second time, and I had enough. And every rover requires one of these rover seats except for the tractor, because that's not entirely a rover. It kind of is, but not really. Like for example, the medium and large rover, those require these rover seats. Now I'm currently going to that little purple dot on the map, or if you're looking at the sky, you can see the little beam shooting into the air. That's where I'm going. You have to unlock one of these before you can get to the core. So the core is currently locked for me because I have not unlocked one of these. Now whenever I plug these in, these beams shoot up. The little purple stuff in the middle needs to go all the way to the top in order for this thing to be activated, I guess you could say. So I put down both my QRTGs and the battery, hoping that it would be enough. Turns out it was not. So I grab the small generator from the tractor, and then I start heading back over to whatever you want to call it. I think it's called a gateway. Now right here I'm trying to jump onto the center because it's just kind of a fun thing you can do. Now these are all the different gateways on this planet, and the center is the like the core. However, I have not activated the core yet, so it's currently dimmed out. Anything that is dimmed out means I have not activated it yet. So you can see all the other gateways and the core were all dim because I haven't been to them. And the little purple dot that showed on the map that showed where it was, it only shows where the nearest one is. So this one was the nearest one to me, so I went to this one. Now in just a second I'm going to start digging down to the core so that way I can activate that. Now whenever I went to the core, I thought I knew what the material was, but I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't bring anything. So here I am unloading the small generator and the dynamite onto the tractor. And now it took me about 20 minutes, but now I'm in the core of the planet. I skipped through it because it's too long even for a time lapse. And now we're at one of these pillars, which if you follow along will lead you to the core. I get poked by one of these things. And then I start traveling down here, going towards the core, where I will check and see to make sure what resource it takes. I thought it was quartz, but I wasn't quite sure. Turns out I was right, so. So yeah, here's what the core looks like whenever it's unlocked. You'll see what it looks like whenever it's locked, whenever I put the quartz in later. Also, here there is very low gravity, and you apparently cannot place tethers. Now I'd recommend leaving a tether or something on the whichever pillar you came from, because there's like 8 or 10 of these pillars, so it's easy to accidentally go on the wrong one. So I think I end up leaving a beacon just there. So here I'm heading back so I can get some quartz. You will only end up seeing my tunnel down here once, just because it takes that long to go up and down it. Now I spend a good while here trying to get off this pillar because it has its own gravity. I would like a better way to get off the pillars, but so as you can see, the range is pretty far on this thing, and it takes me a while to get off. I end up making a ramp and then just running along that. And then the gravity finally fixes itself. Now while I was down there, I did find this kind of like white and black ball. You might see it later in the video. I'm not sure if I accidentally edited it out. I'm not sure what it's used for. If anyone in the comments knows, please tell me. Because as of right now, I am clueless to what that thing does. And I want to know. Alright, once this gets back down here with the quartz, I will be heading down, and you can see just how long the pathway is. Now normally you're supposed to grab 2 of the planet's resource, so you can get 2 little nodes you'll see later, but for now I only need 1. You only need 2 for whenever you're going to a different part of the solar system later on. You might have seen that white and black ball as I was sliding down. As you can see, it took me a long time to dig this. And now you can see just how little gravity there is near the core of the planet. This is Astroneer. It's useful with the trade platform, but I can work on that next episode. Alright, whenever I put the quartz in, you will see what a locked core looks like. It basically looks like the core, but picture in every open spot, it's like a jail cell. It's like barred windows, basically. So here I leave the beacon so I know which side I came from for whenever I'm going back. And here I put the quartz in. And this is what it looks like whenever it's locked. You cannot leave or enter here. Well, I'm not sure if you can leave, I just know you can't enter. So I place this in here. It gets consumed. And now you see that same stone that was at the gateway. But you might also see something else. There's another little thing off to the corner, top right. And that is actually above the sun, I'm pretty sure. So anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye. I'm sorry, but how am I getting wind down here?